Hi, Simon Chapple here. I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach, and as always, I want to help you smash your sobriety. If you enjoy the videos on my channel, please make sure you subscribe. There's new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday, so hit the red button on the screen now and you won't miss out on another one. And you're also welcome to join my quit drinking program at joinbesober.com. You can try it free for 14 days and it could be the start of a complete lifetime of change for you. So make sure you check that out. Now, today I wanted to talk about changing your mindset when you quit drinking. You've probably heard people talking about your mindset when you quit drinking. How do you change it? Because when you see people who feel like they're truly free from alcohol, they will generally talk about how they had a shift in their mindset and that everything really felt different this time. They'd completely shifted in terms of that mindset. How do you do it? How do you change? Now, the simple fact is that when we're addicted to drinking, and believe me, I absolutely was. I was drinking wine every single day for over 20 years, often 2 or 3 bottles or even more. Life sucks. It really did. Alcohol sucked the joy out of my life. And I was never in a place where I felt truly happy. Yet since I've quit, I've found complete happiness, peace in my life, and I've gone on a journey of self-discovery. This hasn't just been about putting down the bottle and never drinking again. I've started to find out things about myself and explore other areas that I want to improve, that I want to change. So I feel like that journey, in a really positive way, continues for a long time. It might continue for the whole of our life, that journey of self-improvement. But for me, stopping drinking was the catalyst that began this wonderful journey. And the changes really have been incredible. My anxiety's faded away. My happiness has returned. My skin's improved. My health has improved. My motivation to do things is so much higher. And I've got new levels of energy and enthusiasm for life, which is just a wonderful gift. And of course, my relationships have changed as well. I'm so much more connected with my wife and my son and my wider family and friends. All these things money can't buy. And all of it came from a place of my mindset shifting. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. The simple fact with quitting drinking is if you don't truly believe in what you're doing, you're probably not going to do very well at it. You've possibly heard me say in the past that our expectations of something often turn into the way that it works out for us. Annie Grace says our expectations shape our experience, and it's so true. If you enter sobriety with an attitude of, I don't really want to do this, I feel like I've been pressured to do it, I don't really believe in it, you're probably not going to do very well. Whereas if you approach it with a sense of excitement, enthusiasm, looking forward to the journey ahead, although knowing that there's probably going to be some tough times and you might have to face some of the darkness in order to find the light, then you're going to have a great time. You're going to do really well in your sobriety. So mindset is very much a outlook, the outlook that you've got around your sobriety, the way that you're going to approach it. A sense of positivity, a sense of excitement, as I described. And that's absolutely what I had at the start. But how do you get that mindset? One thing that really helped me shift my mindset, among others, which I'll also share with you, was using past setbacks to my advantage. Because I'd had so many day ones. I couldn't get past day 2, day 3. I kept going back to the beginning and it was painful. It was uncomfortable. And I got to a point where the pain of giving in to a craving was, and that knowledge that I was going to end up back at the start again, was actually becoming worse than the pain of sitting with the discomfort of quitting. On the Soberish blog, they use the phrase, the pain of caving must be worse than the pain of craving in order to move forward. And I thought that was a really interesting quote because it sums up exactly how I felt. That pain had got so bad of being stuck in that place that I was willing to put up with a week or 2 weeks of discomfort in order to move through it once and for all. So try and think about how bad it feels when you have those setbacks and whether the discomfort of sitting with some uncomfortable emotions, difficult feelings for a couple of weeks is going to be worse than living in that permanent state of cravings, giving in, going back to the start again. Believe me, I got to a point where I felt I just need to go through this. There's no more going around it, running away from it. I need to go through it. And that was when I really started to shift my mindset. So use past setbacks to your advantage and try and really understand how they made you feel and how that might feel compared to sitting with cravings, sitting with discomfort. Which one of those is worse? Now, you've probably heard me talk about confirmation bias in the past. This is where we only look for the information that we want to hear. So for example, when I was drinking, I would only look at articles that reinforced my belief that red wine was good for me. I would avoid anything that said it increased the risk of cancer, it can damage my heart, etc., etc. But when I became aware of my confirmation bias, I started to catch myself and I started to change my behavior to ensure that I got a balanced view of the information I was digesting. But you can use this to your advantage in terms of shifting your mindset. Start to focus on sobriety as your new addiction in a positive way, and get confirmation bias going on with all things sobriety. Start to use confirmation bias to reinforce your belief that an alcohol-free life is better. Every day, look for information that tells you why sobriety is going to improve your life. The more you digest this information through podcasts, blogs, websites, videos like this one, the more your subconscious mind is going to pay attention, and the more that the two sides, your subconscious and your conscious mind, are going to move into harmony. They're going to agree with each other instead of having this ongoing internal conflict of one of them wanting to carry on drinking and one of them wanting you to stop drinking. This is all about educating your subconscious so that it gets on the same page as your conscious mind. And I want you to be excited about this process. Think about where you're going to be in the future. You're not doing this for the you now, you're doing this for the you in 12 months' time, 5 years' time. Think about what you want that person to look like, and then get excited that you're starting that journey. And it really is something to get excited about. Sure, there's twists and turns in the road. There is with every journey. And sure, you might hit the odd pothole or you might go over the odd bump along the way. But so long as you keep moving forward down that path, you're improving all the time, even if it's just by 1% every day, or making small changes and adjustments that over time lead to big change. You can absolutely do this. It's very much about having the focus and educating yourself and working on convincing your subconscious mind that your decision to remove alcohol from your life is absolutely something that you should get excited about, something that you should feel positive about. So don't hold back, let go of any fears and start working on it, and use confirmation bias to focus on sobriety, to focus on learning all about why alcohol-free living is something that's going to benefit you. And it's also important to really focus hard on what you stand to gain. So the more you learn about this, the more you're going to be able to set yourself goals and milestones on the journey. And I don't necessarily mean milestones as in I haven't drunk for 50 days. There's no point quitting drinking for 50 days if the whole time you feel like you're white knuckling it and you still want to drink. 50 days of freedom is what you want to be experiencing. I would congratulate somebody more who's been alcohol free for 7 days, but feels truly free and that their mindset has shifted, rather than somebody who's not drunk for a year, but is actually what we call a dry drunk. Somebody who's doing it all on willpower and actually believes that alcohol still has benefit and could still help them in some kind of positive way, because they've not changed their beliefs. They've not shifted their mindset. Another really important thing that you should do is to try and find somebody who is exactly where you want to be and learn from that person. Use them as your guide, look up to them, reach out to them if you can, and ask them how they got where they are, what pitfalls they encountered and how they overcome them. Let them be your role model. And you can often find these people in Facebook sober groups. My own Facebook group, Be Sober, is a great place for connecting with people who will be at different stages in the journey and often more than happy to connect with somebody and help them on their own journey. Now, you might have heard me talking in the past about how when we drink, we have a kind of tunnel vision. We're not seeing the big picture. Now, you know, you've probably got that tunnel vision. My focus was just on wine the whole time. But as I broadened my horizons, not only did the lens become wider, so I was able to see a bigger picture, I also used that tunnel vision to focus in on all things about sobriety. So shift your tunnel vision and get really focused on sobriety, learning about it, educating yourself further, immersing yourself in the sober community, and discovering everything that you should get excited about. Write out a list of all the reasons why you should get excited about an alcohol-free life and start to look forward to it. Because if you can get that sense of excitement about what lays ahead of you, you're absolutely going to be feeling super positive and start to feel like there's no downside. There's nothing being taken away from you. You're actually gaining so much from quitting drinking. So work on that. Think about what you're actually going to gain from this. And make sure you notice when there's negative self-talk going on and you've got some tactics to deal with it. There's another video on my YouTube channel about negative self-talk. If you find yourself doing that, take a moment to watch the video and start putting some work into improving it. And you should also make sure you're armed with all the necessary tactics to deal with whatever might come up on your alcohol-free journey. Again, my YouTube channel is an awesome place to start. You could also look at my quit drinking program, joinbesober.com, because that will help you so much on your journey. And I would also urge you to use your journal as much as possible. And if you haven't got a journal, you need a journal. You should be logging everything that's happening for you, gathering the data around your own personal experience and using it to reflect, to congratulate yourself on your victories, and to really have some breakthroughs and some understanding as you write things down. I would also recommend that you log your feelings and emotions 2 or 3 times a day. Simply write down how you feel. So it could be sad, it could be lonely, it could be angry. Then next to that, write down why you think you feel that way. And sometimes you have to dig a bit deep. It could be something to do with your work that's stressed you out, or somebody's upset you, or it could just run a little bit deeper. And sometimes we can feel sad for no particular reason. And then also write down what action you might need to take in order to address it. So if you feel really angry because somebody's upset you, you might find that talking to them in a calm and rational manner might help you feel better just to resolve the situation. Sometimes it requires no action at all and you just need to sit with the uncomfortable feelings. But if you're able to log your feelings and emotions 2, 3 times a day, you're going to start to become really aware of them. And so much of this process is about becoming aware, becoming mindful of whatever's coming up for you. So if you're using a journal, I would urge you to do that a couple of times a day. Log the feelings, log the emotions, understand where they're coming from, and then write down if there's any action you need to take around those. Another great way to shift your mindset is to put yourself in situations that require that same mindset. So to do this, you're going to need to get outside of your comfort zone. And it could be many, many different things that put you in that place. But if you need to get a positive mindset, you might need to sign yourself up for a challenge that really requires a positive mindset in order to achieve the goal. And then go do it. Or it could be any other type of challenge that requires that same mindset and sense of positivity. And you might find that you need to learn how to deal with discomfort. So you might find that going on a camping trip really makes you feel uncomfortable. You don't like sleeping in a tent in the outdoors. Go do it. Go and live with some discomfort for a couple of days and understand that you absolutely can do that. And I will also embrace the habit of change. Start to make small daily changes to your life. It could be anything, even simply moving the furniture around in your living room or changing a routine ever so slightly gets you used to the habit of change. I mentioned earlier about making small incremental changes each day to improve your life, and learning to make changes is a real key in shifting that mindset and understanding that you absolutely can do this and having some confidence in yourself. And I would also urge you to ask yourself the question, what mindset do I need to achieve this? What exactly does it need to look like? Write it down in your journal and then dig a little deeper. What do I need to do in order to get that mindset? Now, the fact you're watching this video tells me that you're keen on changing your mindset and you're learning, which is awesome. But you might need to keep educating yourself. You might need to dig a little bit deeper. So try and establish what that mindset might look like and understand how you need to get there. Start with the end in mind. What does that end goal look like in terms of your mindset? And then work backwards in terms of understanding what exactly you need to do to get to that place. And obviously there's some tips in this video that are going to point you in absolutely the right direction. but you might need to dig a bit deeper. You might need to read some books, listen to some podcasts, or watch some other videos once you get some clarity around exactly how that mindset needs to look. But if I was to put it in just a couple of words, it's a positive outlook and feeling really excited and enthusiastic about quitting drinking. That's what my mindset needed to look like. And that was the point. When that changed, I never looked back. I never wanted to drink again. And once you know what that mindset looks like, surround yourself with people who have the same outlook, the same mindset. And you can find those people in sober groups. You've probably got friends with the similar sort of mindset. And it doesn't have to be a mindset for quitting drinking. I mean, a mindset of positivity, getting excited about things. I spoke in the past about surrounding yourself with different types of people, radiators and drains. Radiators radiate positive energy. Drains, on the other hand, they drain your energy. They're hard work. So think about the type of people you're surrounding yourself with and ensure that you're receiving positive energy and you've got people who are supportive, that you can talk openly to, and are going to allow you to really explore your mindset and move to the right place, and will encourage you on that journey, give you tips. And make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are positive, enthusiastic, excited about whatever they're doing in their life or whatever they're trying to achieve. And you'll find that it's contagious. It rubs off on you. And that really is important. If you've got people who are draining you of your energy, stressing you out, upsetting you, that's not going to be great. It's going to cause you discomfort, and it can potentially put you in a dark place, which is the last thing we want when you're feeling fairly fragile in the early days of sobriety. So be careful, take the time, put yourself first, and select the people that you're going to have around you on your very personal journey to alcohol freedom. You owe it to yourself to do this. And most importantly, take the time to track everything that changes, monitor the improvements, and gather the data, almost like you were running a business and you were in charge of tracking all the sales, all the inquiries, the customer complaints. You need to be logging it down. I used a Google sheet online, a spreadsheet, and I logged all the information there. I gathered data. I also used a handwritten journal, and I was blogging on my own website, besober.co.uk. And that was a great outlet for me to write things down, to understand how my moods were changing, how anxious I was feeling, how stressed out, how angry, etc. So make sure that you've got suitable tools and processes in place where you can gather this information, and make sure you're setting yourself goals around learning, reading, listening, watching videos like this to continue enhancing your knowledge about an alcohol-free life, because it really is so important. So I hope those tips helped. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Just press the red button on the screen right now, and I will see you again very, very soon.